Hello out there. It is another fine moment. I have found the opportunity of speaking to you again. I have been here for quite some time, talking to you on various aspects of life, and today from my very home village, here in Nyamaranya sublocation, Nyamaranya village, Gukihuru, I have now decided to once again meet you. Today, it marks the day when my wife has a party day. And I've thought about party days, but I've seen it cannot create a good content. However, I wish you well. Happy party day, my dear wife, wherever you are and from wherever you are watching. Thank you, and we appreciate God. We really say thank you to Jehovah God for bringing you all this far. May you live to blow 1,001 candles. Just know from the bottom of my heart, as your husband and the father to your children, we want to thank God in a special way for bringing you into our lives. It has been so good. But nonetheless, as you watch together with the myriad of people from across the globe, I have decided today to speak on issues that affect our young people, which is my subject of interest. 2 days ago, if you watched my last video, I was talking about the children who go to school for the first time, the difficulties they find when they are in school. But today, I want now to progressively proceed with the children who have now started learning. Remember, a child who has gone to school for the first time does not find it easy always. As usual, this is a transition, and any transition is a milestone that one makes in order to achieve the objectives of life. Now, when a child begins school, of course, depending on the curricula that is being offered on whichever type of country, but more so here in Africa, we normally start with the 3 basic learning areas. The first one normally is arithmetics. That deals with numbers, so that once the child gets to understand this, it will help him or her to be accurate in his numeracy competencies. The second one, of course, is literacy. Children must be taught to read. So that is one thing that a child must learn while at school. So as a parent, you must also learn that there is another hidden curriculum that a child must understand, and that one is playing through socialization. When a young child goes to school, you must expect that child to be dirty, because young children learn through play. Also, when you have taken your child to school, ensure that this child is able to be in an environment that is accommodative. An environment, if he or she gets tired, can accommodate him or her to have a nap, albeit a short time in the afternoon, so that that child can get re-energized for other activities that might proceed. So, if you are a parent who wants to invest in education, and I know that is the sole responsibility of every parent out there, you must start thinking of schools that are so good in terms of giving your child this type of competency and abilities in the name of such skills. So therefore, what are you supposed to know as a parent? Is that, number one, your child has what we call low concentration span. Young children can only be very active in a formal class for about 7 minutes. 7 minutes, you must introduce activities that can motivate and stimulate the mind. If your child is not properly stimulated, he or she might develop a tendency of regressing. Some, they want to run away from school and tell you that school is boring. Some will develop negativities, which at the end of it all will make your child not be comfortable to acquire new skills. Remember, learning is the acquisition of new skills and the competencies that can sum up to make this human being a very reasonable one. In fact, some people say that education for young children changes the boys and the girls into competent ladies and gentlemen. So if you look at the world across, be it agriculture, just behind me you can see a small farm, be it wherever you want to be, just know that any career that anybody does had a beginning. And that beginning must be considered as a very special occasion. So, just like in a building, you need a proper foundation for your child. Very proper foundation. So, as a parent who have brought a child to school, ensure that your child is properly founded on the foundations of education. So that when this child grows, he or she can be holistically competent. I have learned with a lot of dismay that there are children who are taken to school. They can be able to speak a lot of English, but they lack manners. That's why there is a wanton issue of corruption across the world. So what am I saying this evening, dear friends? Ensure that wherever your child goes to school, that child can have a reason to resonate well with others. What do I mean? Moral upkeep of your child cannot just come because the child has been taken to school. That child must be properly taught from the home where he or she comes from. So if you are a parent who wants something good from your child, to go to the entire world, remember to be the mirror of that child yourself. So you find some parents are absentee parents. They just pay school fees, and the entire year you find that school has the fee has been paid. But they are not there to give and support, that is, to give the moral support to their children in every endeavor that they undertake. So parents out there, if you are getting me, kindly, you must grow with your child every step. You must be available at school during class conferences. You must be available at school during visiting days. You must support the child on every milestone that that child makes. If, for example, your child does not know how to read, and that he or she has been able to read a two-letter word, it, is, in, if that child can read that, kindly don't forget to appreciate your child. Appreciation is a motivation itself. Tell them that they are credible. Tell them that they have wowed you. By so doing, your child will have a desire to improve even more. I saw a parent whose child was not able to perform just writing number 5. He was writing just like a mirror like 5, an inverted 5. So every time the parent could come reprimand the child, you're just such a great fool. You don't know what you're supposed to do. Every now and again, I can see you writing awkward things. This child started to become despondent towards learning. At the end of it all, it caused this child not to perform. However, comparatively, another parent whose child had difficulties in writing 2, could write inverted 2, could start by, first of all, appreciating the child. telling the child, oh my girl, you are such a credible girl. I can see how much you are trying. You are doing it so good. But next time, when you write it too, kindly write it this way. You see, I'm trying to introduce the aspect of homeschool. Homeschool, yeah. You take a lot of time with your television sets. You watch movies that are not able to edify anything to your child. You support one another on funny movies when your child's greatest desire is to get an education that can transform him or her in the hereafter. So take time, read, go through, peruse. Get your child to have the books that he or she writes at school, so that you are able to know his weaknesses or her weaknesses, so that you can be able to help address the gaps. And if you address these gaps together with the teacher, you will be building a very strong character in this child, a character of resilience. Do not entertain failures. Naturally, our minds become lazy when they are not activated. Do not allow your child to be lazy. Don't say that you know, oh, my child is a redundant, he does not understand what is being taught. Who told you that everybody born must understand? But one thing I know about our God, the creator of heaven and earth, has given us the rare opportunity to have children who resemble us, who can walk in the ways we have walked in life, who can be able to change even the history we have lived. It doesn't matter how low that child scores. It's a matter of time, dear colleagues. So create time, because time is of great essence. The way you used to behave when you were 5 years old is not the same way you are behaving when you are 40 years old. That means there is what we call improvement in every area of life. Then why are you thinking that your child will not improve? That same child you are seeing scoring very low marks might be the engineer that is waiting to rebuild the road to your home. Might be the pilot who will be taking you out for a flight for the first time. Might be the medical officer who will be involved in the operation that you so much require at the end of it all. That same child might be the administrator who will be coming hereafter to ensure that the society where you come from has all the requisite issues put in place because of his administration and leadership. So, you are called a parent because you are the oldest person in that family. And that through you, that child can be able to discover the whole world. Don't be mean in your words. Don't reprimand unnecessarily. Ensure that that child is well stuffed with knowledge, encouragement, and hope. Give him a glamour of hope every now and again when you meet him, in as much as he's so low. Remember, some of these children do not know what the world entails. I met a parent recently who told me, asking me, by the way, it was a question a parent was asking me, that is Rwanda part of the Kenyan county? Instead of me laughing, I understood that this old man does not understand geography. But to whom do I blame? Maybe he did not get the rare opportunity to learn this. Don't make your children